Benita's show. And I know y'all out there looking like, wow, what is Benita up to now? Look at my panel today. I have Mr. Bay here, who is the manager and director of an organization called Builders of Life. And we also have with him Mr. Anderson, who's the founder of the organization. And we have Mr. Jones, program director for Builders of Life. And we have Mr. Shocking C. He was GC for Real 2 weeks ago. So y'all know GC for Real, the gospel rap artist. But now today he's Mr. Shocking C, who's a mentor with this program, Builders of Life. And I tell you, they're going to tell us some good stuff about what they're doing in the community and what they're doing with the people and the children that are involved with Builders of Life. Mr. Bay, what do you want to start us out with?
Well, actually, I feel it only appropriate that I introduce the founder of our program, Mr. Gary Anderson, because he is the founder and executive director of the Builders of Life.
Well, hello, world.
Hey.
First of all, my name is Gary Anderson. I am the founder and executive director of a wonderful organization called the Builders of Life. The Builders of Life is a partnership for community and youth development. And basically, the name basically says what we do.
Build lives.
We're actually into building lives. With the Builders of Life, one of the divisions of this Builders of Life is also the City Youth Foundation.
Yeah. I saw the website. I was out there looking at that too, and I couldn't remember the name. I remember Builders of Life because I've been talking about it for the last week or so. But then I went on yours and saw that. But go ahead.
Well, the overall vision of the Builders of Life, back in 2005, God gave me a vision for the Builders of Life, and it was actually a threefold concept dealing with the whole man, building the person up spiritually, also providing the life-building tools that the individual person would need to actually build and restore their lives. And so that's basically, how it actually was conceived. It was conceived from God, and from that we began to go forth and implement and get Builders of Life actually established.
Yeah. What you guys are doing is so phenomenal. When Mr. Shocking C told me about y'all, and I went to the website, I'm like, wow. And I got right on the phone with Mr. Coleman, who's helping to manage me a little bit, help manage the show. And I said, did you check out their website? Look at what they're doing. And see, this is stuff that y'all don't know about. Y'all, this is still go up. I was like, wow. I said, you want to come to this meeting with me? Yeah, I'll go to the meeting with you when we met with you guys last Monday. Was it last Monday? And when you told me your story, Mr. Bay, and when you talk about your vision and how God gave you the vision too, as well as Mr. Anderson, I talked to you a lot when I came out there, but in your vision too, you don't know this because I have to be that pillar of strength. I kept dabbing my eyes because I was, the tears were trying to come. And I was like, I can't cry today. This is business. I gotta keep marching. I gotta be a soldier. But for someone to do the things that you guys are doing with out in the community and with these children and with these and people and men and rebuilding and building their lives is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's a big, humongous task too.
It's a mission.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's a mission. And as far as the vision for me, it came because I went and you look at the condition of the people in the community. First of all, I like to say, because I'm not ashamed of my past, and that's what bring me here. Not having the direction that's still missing in our communities today led me to a 17-and-a-half-year stint in the penitentiary. And being there and seeing the individuals coming in there without hope, with no direction. They cut out the education program so that I can send you out the same way you came in, with a bigger problem and more barriers. And when we got out here, I have a degree, but no one wanted to hire me because I'm classified as a violent offender. Well, what the world does not know and what the society doesn't know is that even without there being a changing system in prison, because there is none, there's no rehabilitation system anymore, we have changed. God has instilled something in you that forces you to change. With that being said, when I came out here, society has not forgiven me. No one wanted to give me a job. No one wanted to offer anything to me. Well, here's a person, I'm an intelligent individual. I have enough skills and enough information and knowledge to establish something for myself, and I can't get in the door. So there's like 98% of those offenders re-entering society won't have the chances that I've made for myself because they have no way of starting.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I think that's what drilled it into me. That's what made me come out and say, well, I can make a way for those people who do not have a way. You know, with the strength of God, who actually pioneered this individual thing through all of us, we can make a way. Also, I can't change none of the things that I did that caused me to be in prison to begin with. But I can breathe life into everything I touch. And there's nothing that God would allow to be in front of me that would prohibit me from doing such a thing.
Well, I can tell you what, when I came and met with you, you told me, and Mr. Coleman said, Benita, if you don't help me, I'll get it done. Mr. Coleman, if you don't help me, I'll get it done. Because you are on a mission and have been for the last, 10 years?
The last 9 years. I've been home 9 years, and the 9 years nonstop. I've been working in the communities to give individuals, empower them with the tools necessary to become self-sufficient. Because we have allowed ourselves to rely on a system that has failed us, and then they have even annihilated that entity. So now we are going to and fro the community, victimizing individuals just as a means of surviving. With the increasing rate of incarceration for the adults, then that's going to only engineer a more rapid change for the youth, because there's no visionaries there are no pioneers there's no one there establishing anything. Our program is designed to do one thing in particular. The key is to get you in touch with who you really are, opposed to all the different images you see before you that you perpetuately or continue to follow after. We don't have to follow after anything except the God in us. If we use the God in us to open the door, then nothing can close it on you. You know, and we all have something in common in that we're all spiritual, and that's what brought us together. But even though I may seem to be the individual that make things happen, they can't happen without the rest of the group. You know, it's like Ike was nothing without Tina. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and Gladys went on after the Pips fell apart. You know, so
we are not Gladys, not in the Pips here today, everybody. This is not the Temptations, even though they're looking good.
But there are components, you know, and like our youth are really, there's no leadership example in the community for our youth. So what we want to do through our mentoring program, and Mr. Shaughnessy, by the way, he is the director of our Mentor Now program. And the Mentor Now program is designed to create mentor programs for youth, for young women. We have an abstinence first program that he wants to take to the youth so that they can stop creating babies that they can't afford, and that the father winds up leaving, and now we have a lifetime of child support issues that you run from. There's so much going on in our communities, and we can't change the world, and we won't do what we were. A lot of things that we propose to do won't even happen in our lifetime. But the fact that we're here today says a whole lot for what lies ahead for us.
I tell you, and I saw that big, thick binder that has all your, I mean, you guys have a fashion department, drama department, art,
dance.
Actually, we have 12 departments. We have 2 primary departments, the talent department and the business department, and it's business first. Our program is a partnership for community and youth development, but the City Youth Foundation itself is a business leadership and talent research program. So through the business department, you have advertising, business, journalism, production, promotion, and sales.
Wow, and I saw that they get a certificate in management when they're done with your
certified managers.
Okay, go ahead.
Of that.
Okay.
And we have a couple already in the community who are 18-year-old entrepreneurs. And then we have the art department, dance, drama, fashions, music, and photography on the talent department end.
Wow. And you don't want to just do this in St. Louis either.
It's a national concept.
Most definitely national.
We have a national problem. Recidivism is a national problem. Juvenile delinquency is a national problem. Teenage pregnancy is a national problem. It's national. So we want to reach at least the major cities where we reside in every state within the United States.
Tell us about I can't even pronounce it.
Recidivism.
I have a Mississippi lazy tongue and it just won't do some of the words I needed to do. But
recidivism itself is the perpetuation of the revolving door going in and out of prison.
Oh, okay.
And society has corralled all of the ex-offenders into one corner, taking away from them all of the opportunities. So now I can only go where I know. Mm-hmm. So if you don't open a door for me to come and do something positive, then I know how to do something negative, and to survive I will. That's human.
Yep.
It doesn't. That's not for any particular culture, race, or identity of a person. You can take the Pope and put him in a unit, in a community, and take everything from him and put some fruit stands out there and not offer him anything to eat. And at some point, he's going to take some fruit to survive.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and we need to understand that. As humans, we're going to survive.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Now, everybody that you work with have run-ins with the law, or no? Because I know you work with also parentless children. You guys do scholarship funds for children that have lost their parents to the violence of whatever.
That particular program is called Victim Scholarship Fund.
Okay.
And one of the things we learned through an immediate person who is my niece, who was killed in front of her 5 children, was that her children were honor students until that incident occurred. Once that incident occurred, psychologically they were no longer able to get back a hold of things. But that should not prohibit them from an advanced education. So that program is designed for individuals in our communities who suffer that catastrophic situation but still want to continue in school and not be weighed down with on one option of creating financial debt through student loans.
It just breaks my heart when you hear, I'm sorry. When you hear about these children. You stop for a second, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, and you can keep them and listen.
When I hear stuff about the children, sometimes it really doesn't concern me. Adults, when you guys, when adults want to act crazy, but when it impacts the children, that it breaks my heart, because I have 3 boys, and I can't imagine them having to go through watching me get killed or watching their father, and you say this child.
Can I share with you the positive side of all of that?
You're right. It's what you guys are doing.
There's a positive side of all of that.
Yeah.
To date, her youngest child, who suffered cerebral palsy as a child and walked with braces on her leg for the most of her life, is the youngest of her family, and she's graduating from high school in May. Her other 4 children have all graduated from college. So this is not one of the things about the life is what it is.
Yep.
We deal with it. It's going to show up. Yeah. But there's a rainbow at the end of every. That's, sunshine at the end of every rainbow. Yep. God has a way of adding to us something that makes us human when we don't want to be. Yeah. Which is why you're crying.
And that's a beautiful thing.
And what you guys are doing is phenomenal. And I know you had mentioned that you want to go. You got to go to Ohio. You got to go to this state. You got to go to that state. And I'm looking at your book, and I'm looking at the people that you have, and I'm like, God, how is he gonna do this? But we know that God can.
We know we can't do it.
You need to tell us that now.
Well, with God, all things are possible.
That's right. This is true.
One thing we do know, when God gave us the vision for the Bills of Life, I already knew that was going to be bigger than me in the first place. And he's the only one that we know that can go before us and actually open up the doors and make those things that seem impossible, from our inabilities. Because we know that God is limitless.
And
there's no limitations with God.
That's true. That's true. And he's going to send you all the people you need and all the funding you need.
That's right.
And we're going to push what we're doing here today, across the wire as far as we can?
I just really want to reach out to everybody in the whole world. If you can just make an opportunity each day to help somebody in any way,
That's good.
then you should do that.
That's good. Okay, world, we're going to say goodbye for now with Mr. Bay, but we're going to come back at y'all with a panel. We're going to hear what each one of these men have to say about Builders of Life and what they're doing out there in the community. All right, bye, world.